We still got some FF7 shit to talk about, right?
Yes, we do. So we're going to talk about that in the Spoilercast Part 2. This is up to Chapter 14 ending / beginning of Chapter 15.
That's correct.
And that Spoilercast starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time to close chat. I can't see you guys anymore. Get the fuck out of my face. So, game's great. I love it. A minor point that I want to point out, which is Cloud's dealing with Tifa finding him in drag is better than I could have ever imagined. Going, yes, I know, nailed it. Moving on. Wow. He knows he's killing it. He knows.
He does. Yes. Like so you were wondering I was wondering how are they going to handle that scene, and they classed it up.
Yeah.
They classed it up, you know.
Andrea is a significant improvement over Bubby.
Right? And they just turned the whole thing into a single moment as opposed to a multi-part quest of getting the dress, getting the wig, getting all the parts of it. The entire
it is a multi-part quest. It's just hidden from you.
There, sure. But it is entirely done in the form of like one moment on stage in a very RuPaul's Drag Race kind of way.
Where did Cloud learn how to dance?
So at first in the practice run, when he's using his fighting to figure it out, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. He's swinging the sword around, and he's like, I can sword to the rhythm, because that's me. But then later on, he just adapts the moves and starts dancing like a fucking member of BTS
Troop or whatever.
BTS. And I'm like, all right, there it is. Now you're doing what your hair says you should be able to do.
Pretty much, yeah. So that was a great little improvement.
It's like look at Reno can dance. Look at Reno.
Yeah. The thing we really got to talk about was the bullet point that I walked away from my stream with the other day, which was going up to that plate and seeing ghosts just physically attacking people to make sure that they die. And them failing to kill good old Wedge. Flat out.
Wedge eats shit the same way.
So yeah, I don't know if you remember what it looked like in the original.
Yeah, I do.
He eats shit from the top of the tower.
Top of the tower.
Splats
to the bottom. Gets a few words out. Dunsky.
Like he is dead, man. He is dead.
This time around, Grappling Hook manages to soften the blow.
Cuts the fall into 2 falls, basically.
And then he is then later able to fucking be okay because they pick him up, right? And he's like, he's unconscious, but he's all right. Then later, it's like, nah, you're going to get your cats or whatever? Get the fuck back in. You're not allowed to live, says the retcon ghost.
And I'm like, oh no.
He's gonna get it hard. Final destination is like, no, Wedge, you're supposed to die.
But then
you go underground.
Magically clears a path, and the cats must have dragged him down there or some shit. And you're like, oh, and it's the underground research lab that was mentioned earlier in the game and was vaguely hinted at in some compilation of FF7 stuff in which you fight some Mako Reactor Soldier Reject Freakazoids.
And you see some bodies and some vials.
And I'm like, I know exactly what this location is called. This location is called Deep Ground. Are you familiar with Deep Ground?
No.
Deep Ground is a Shinra occupation force made out of soldiers and soldier rejects that was intended to come up post-cataclysmic disaster to like reacquire Shinra's hold on the planet. Deep Ground are the antagonists of one Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay.
And then right when you're about to walk into the tubes where the people that you fight in Deep Ground are,
yeah,
the retcon ghosts go, no,
get the fuck out of there.
You can't be here. That's sequel shit.
Okay, so that room with the tubes was straight up Dirge of Cerberus.
Is where like the named antagonist characters from Deep Ground would be.
In Dirge of Cerberus,
like way in the back.
Okay, okay.
And it's like, okay, that's not supposed to happen. That's wrong.
It also canonizes that.
Well, I don't know how much you've been paying attention, but there's a lot of stuff that gets canonized in that game. There's ads for Benora White apples in the reactor,
right?
Which are the dumb apples from Crisis Core.
The Crisis Core ads, yeah.
When you look at the description of the Buster Sword, it says that it's a legendary sword that has inherited the will of those who fight.
Yes, which implies something if you're Cloud, but if you know the deal, you're like, oh no,
it's actually about Angeal.
It's about
Angeal and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So. Yeah, no, there's a lot going on, like just under the surface, and one of the things that I'm noticing as I'm going through the games is like we discover in the fight against them with Jesse is that the ghosts are tangible to some degree
when they want to be.
You can hit them with stuff
when they want to be.
Basically, if they want to stop you, they have to be pseudo tangible.
Yes,
it seems
they become corporeal for those moments, and then otherwise they just swarm.
You're getting the crew that we're all familiar with is actually considerably more capable than I remember them being. Like they're doing really well overall at beating up the bad dudes. And what happens is you're heading to the plate, and it appears that you've made it to the plate early. Right? And the ghosts attempt to stop you, and they fail because you beat them up.
You do.
And
in fact, the second fight was way easier than the first one.
Yeah. And you get to the top of the tower and all that shit's happening and the plate's falling and the ghosts go ham to stop you from stopping the plate. But as a result, Wedge and tons of people that should die make it out.
So two things that are really cool. One, when Jesse's talking, you see them start to pile up behind her on her last line. And it's like they don't even have to do anything. They're just in the shot, and you're like, okay, that's a nice touch. But that's what I was going to ask you is, how do you feel about the fact that there was an evacuation?
It's crazy. Like that. So they even talk about it briefly. It's like Shinra is very disappointed because it was supposed to be like an unprecedented hyper tragedy,
but so many people made it out.
9/11 of Midgar.
Yeah,
and as a result, it's like it's a disaster.
Okay, now guess what?
But like tons of people get out.
Now here's the problem. I'm Shinra.
Yeah,
because I'm like, that's the moment that like makes you go, holy fuck these people, right? And you're supposed to like have that moment be a paradigm shift that, to be honest, never quite goes away until even when the credits roll on the game. By the time you beat the game, there's nothing quite still on the level of like they pancaked an entire city of people. Don't
forget the people who live on top of the plate.
It's not just the disgusting rats that live below. It's everyone in the normal suburbs above as well. It's psychotically evil.
Part of that is the ongoing attempt to connect the dots for why Cloud and the gang would not just try and murder Reno and Rude the instant they ever see them ever again. Because I don't know how well you remember the first one, but Reno in the original was all about dropping the plate.
So that's what's crazy.
I did not give a shit.
So that's the thing, right? And I'm like, here's the bit now, right? I fucking love the Turks. They're super cool guys, but you have to totally acknowledge that Reno jumps off that helicopter and goes, I'm smacking this button. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Right?
And it's like they make a deal out of it. It's like they don't like the mission. They don't want to be there. The only reason Reno gets fired up is because he has a personal petty little shit with Cloud.
And
Rude
then
does not get fired up.
No, but he joins, and you get an early reward in the form of fighting both of them instead of just one of them.
Which in the original, you fought Reno and lose.
Yeah.
And
he gets the fuck out.
You dramatically stomp them.
And also you get the co-op moment, right? Yeah. Explosion, glasses, hand on the shoulder.
I like how they've integrated Rude's secret crush on Tifa into cutscenes as well as gameplay. Rude will never attack Tifa ever. Ever.
Really?
And
I didn't notice that.
That's always been a thing. Even in the original, he does not attack her. Here you see him like in cutscenes like actively sabotaging the mission when Reno goes to shoot her.
Oh yeah. Right.
It's cool. And if
he goes, what was that about? Yeah.
Man. And if you attack Rude with Tifa, he like dodges behind her and like claps the back of her neck like a ninja thing, and she falls over.
That did happen to me.
Then he switches targets.
Yes. Okay. Right. Also, when you switch to, isn't there a point where you switch to Aerith, and Reno is like, "Get out of here, girl. You know, what are you doing?"
Yeah, it's a lot more like chill.
He's just like, "Listen, get out of the way." You know what I mean? He kind of just is super dismissive.
The plate is when stuff starts to really fly off the rails, because I don't know if you remember, Aerith takes Marlene home, all the way home in the original, and then gets grabbed by Sang at the house, and then they show up on the helicopter during the plate sequence.
And Sang talks to you from the helicopter and tells you about all the shit.
And then she tries to warn you, "Oh, Marlene's at the house," and then Sang like backhands her back into the helicopter.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Here, she's like, "Nah, we'll make a deal," and it's a lot more friendly.
Also, like that backhand is a very clear, "Oh my God, go get her. This is bad."
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, you have to like plead with her mom,
Elmira,
to be like, "Hey, can we go get her?" Because So here's the weird thing about that too, is I know this is accurate to the flow of events, right? But it was weird for me how, like, the plates fall, you walk through town, everyone's fucked up. Barrett is like emotionally scarred, and he's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then he's like, "Oh wait, there's a chance she's alive. Please, dude, give me something to hold on to," right? And then you get there, and like there's just a bit of a feeling where I was just like, everyone should be freaking the fuck out, not just the NPCs. Everyone should be talking about nothing but how many people just died. This is insane.
Yeah, it's because it's the craziest thing. Like, the sky literally falls.
The sky fell, right? And like, I'm like, there's almost like, and thank God they still give it those moments a little bit after their house, right? You have that scene with Tifa going like, "Holy shit," and everything, and there's really just this kind of like, "Oh God, what do we do now?" But in the moment of the tragedy, I'm looking for like what the like a complete breaking of what of your understanding, right? And there's a couple of characters that like kind of don't behave in a way I would expect them to behave, given that the sky just fell. One of them is you run by Andreas at the market, and he's like, "I will be preparing a show in these times. It is needed more than ever. You're welcome to join me if you like on the stage awaiting you," you know? And I'm like, you should I'm like, that's a ridiculous, like, that's what he would say, but it's also like, dude, like, it's seconds ago. It happened seconds ago, right?
It's the craziest thing that has literally ever happened
in your entire life. Secondly, running back to Aerith's house, and then you have a discussion about the ancients. It's like, the dust is still on your faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The dust is still caked on your faces.
That run back gives me something that I was wanting an answer to the whole game so far, which is Cloud starts tripping his balls, right?
Yes.
And Steph starts taunting him, as he likes to do.
Yes.
And we get a good reaction shot from Tifa where she turns around and Cloud is just freaking out
at nothing. Yes. And but you like, okay, so if I'm not mistaken, that moment in the original, he ends up on the floor. He has a flashback, he has a moment, and then
I am all but certain that that moment does not actually occur in the original.
There's a
Sephiroth you run into precious
no,
little.
not Sephiroth, not Sephiroth. It's a Zakback, right? Or rather, an ancient voice, a voice of the ancients talking to him in this moment, where like basically like he gets live stream in him, and then he drops to the ground, and then they kind of go, "Dude, are you okay?" And they wake him back up off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well I went back to look at it, right? But
Okay.
there's a scene in the original where Cloud literally falls to the ground and blacks out, and they pick him back up, and then you start running through the underground passage. You know?
Okay. There's a lot of little details that come through. So, one is we find out that those yellow flowers that Aerith always keeps
symbolize reunion,
and you're like,
of course they do.
But earlier in the game, when she gives it to you, she says that these are for parted lovers reuniting.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives it to Cloud, who actually gives it to Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, that's a nice little, cute. But fuck all that. Aerith gets to the bar, leans down, gives Marlene a hug, and we get what I thought was Cloud's flashback filter.
Except
it's not Cloud's flashback filter. It's a generic vision filter. And the kid literally looks at her and goes, "Oh, you what?" And Aerith gives a little like a fucking wink and a nod to you,
and goes,
the camera.
Hey, Marlene. Now that you know, shut the fuck up, okay? And then later on, I went from Marlene is like, "Oh, that lady. Never mind."
Yeah. And that's when I went from, oh, some funky stuff is going on, or like maybe there are some scattered pieces, right? To no, there is an explicit foreknowledge of events.
100%.
A lot of events.
Do you remember the line where she's like, "We can still save as many people as we can still save as many people as possible," and then Tifa says something to the effect of, "You sound like it already happened."
Yeah.
Or is something
the other thing?
She says something
at the beginning of the.
She says something to the effect of like, she kind of just acknowledges you're not going to stop the plate from falling, right?
Yeah.
And like it's in the middle of trying to stop it, and then Aerith is kind of like,
let's make sure to save everybody.
Yeah, let's do what we can, you know. And she's like, "What the fuck? We're trying to stop it." You know,
there's two more of that. I mentioned it last week, but it didn't really hit me until now. And it's like when they get to Aerith's house, she's been so familiar with him that Cloud snaps at her and says, "Stop acting like you know me." And the second one is that when Tifa turns to when the plate's getting all, they're at the foot of the plate and Wedge is like being tended by Cloud. Tifa's like, "I got to get up there. Aerith, will you please?" And then Aerith finishes her sentence and says, "Get Marlene at the bar, right?"
Exactly. And the only way she could have known that was when when you guys are in the train graveyard, and then
it's like a brief
Tifa has a little it's a vision. She has a vision of a child that's Marlene in the ghost house, right? But so if you wanted to, you could be like, "Oh yeah, sure. Aerith is just listening to the live stream and it's telling her about this." But it's like, no, she knew exactly what to do and where to get it, right? And secondly, she literally, when she runs into, there's a line I want to say where she goes, "Oh, your dad," or something like that, and she goes, "Oh, you mean Barrett?" And she refers to Barrett like knowing exactly about his. She drops his name when his name has never been dropped to her.
I believe so, yeah. I would have to go back through the footage, but I'll probably do it on hard mode, or somebody will confirm at some point down the line. Don't confirm to me near future, guys. But you remember the very first cutscene, Cloud can't see the beings at all, and Aerith is being attacked by them?
Yes, they're invisible.
Like when you meet her,
and then
the instant she touches him,
then they become visible.
He can see them.
So the instant she touches Marlene, she knows things as well.
Jesse and Biggs can't see them.
No, they can't.
Like there is a hard distinction on people who can see them and who can't.
And he actually asks about them. Hey, guys, have you ever fought invisible enemies?
And they go, "No, man."
What?
I bet if you went through the cutscenes, you would be able to find, like, oh no, because Jesse touches Cloud. I bet there is like a touch transference thing going on where you have to have like literally run into Aerith at some point.
Well, here's I don't know. It might just be direct with her if that is a thing, but your team is fighting them as a group, right? When they come around the second time.
Oh, that's right. Jesse and Biggs, and they can see them. So does that mean Reno and Rude can see them? Because they didn't act like they did. They ran right through them.
You definitely again, you definitely have the crew fighting them as Avalanche, so it's like,
yeah,
it might not be a like what the touch transference thing or whatever. Who knows? It might just be, you know, based on Cloud entirely. But either way, you know, that's what we're getting there.
There's some suspicious shit happening in this remake. And I am fascinated to see, because like Wedge being alive is wrong. I don't mean like it's bad, you know, I mean like it's incorrect. And you finding deep ground and busting into deep ground like a decade before it turns on is also wrong. So
they're fighting fate, dude.
Yeah, but
they're fighting fate.
Like, you know what that means? It means Gact. It means Gact will appear.
Is he the ghosts?
No. Oh god, that would be really bad. No, the ghost. I'm going to. I think the very first guess I had, I'm going to stick with it, which was these are timeline equivalents of weapon, which is like, stop it. No, really stop it.
It's a chord. It's G-Man.
Yeah.
It's the beings from beyond. Yeah.
I really wonder, and this is like put my fucking crazy tinfoil hat on. If it has anything to do with the way that the original game ends. Do you remember the last thing that you see in the original FF7?
Thousands of years in the future, Red 13.
No, not that. That's the post ending. I'm talking about the ending where Meteor hits Holy. The last thing you see is Aerith in the slums looking at that pipe.
Oh, okay. So you think it's the start of that?
Like, is this like a 2-year-long Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
Because that would be nuts.
It would be. It would be very weird if that's what was happening. But all signs point to this clearly being not the first time through these events. So the only question is, under what circumstances are they being replayed? You know?
Yeah.
So then you get the other bits that are just like, excuse me, elaborations of these moments.
Yeah.
Corneo's mansion, wall market.
Like, it's all good. It's all great.
Fantastic. Corneo is a huge piece of shit. You know.
I love how he got away. Leslie sucks, dude.
So here's the thing. Actually, Leslie is. Like, I don't, Leslie's okay, but the problem is that even though they throw him this kind of like, here's his motivation moment, you're like, yeah, but you sat there at the door and you sold girls in. You tried to talk him away.
For 6 months afterwards.
So you totally were an accomplice, bro. Like, I get it. You have a tragic backstory, but you are 100% hands red. Guilty. And before you forget, before you give this pretty boy with a cool haircut the benefit of the doubt.
You mean off-brand Noctis?
Don't forget that he also grabs Tifa and Aerith and he walks into the thug room and he goes, "Here you go, boys. Courtesy of the Don. Don't say he never does nothing for you.
And he later comes back with their gear
because Andreas tells him to.
That's a coin toss, man. That's like
he hands them over, and then he comes back and goes, by the way, check it out. Here's your Buster Sword and shit.
And it's like, I'm sure people be like, oh, he knew they'd be fine. And I'm like, I didn't know they'd be fine.
Yeah.
So him and Kyrie, a.k.a. Marie 2.0.
Oh, my God.
Are book characters.
Are they? They pre-existed?
Yes.
Okay.
They are from a FF7 official novella called The Kids Aren't All Right.
Because I had I have a thing here where I want to talk about the new characters.
There are not as many actually new characters as you think.
Okay.
Madam M, Choco Sam, and Andrea are definitely new.
Yes. But here's the thing. Of the list of characters that weren't in the original game, I'll say that much, right? Most of them are great.
Yeah.
Most of them are great.
Like, even though Leslie sucks, I enjoy his presence in the game.
Yes. And you know, Oates is, you're not an annoying kid. I like the way Oates talks. He talks
like
a
weirdly capable kid.
He talks like a capable child. He has a moment where he tells Barrett to fuck off.
Yeah.
But Oates is like, yeah, you're all right, kid. You know, like you're taking...
Moogle kid's insane.
Moogle kid's nuts. But Oates takes care of him as you would the Lost Boys, you know?
You know what I see when I look at Poochie 2.0? First of all, it's
I want to get there.
Oh, okay.
Because...
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no, you know what? Fine. No. Let's go. Because...
One, I'm astonished at how similar the design is to Marie. That is an incredibly specific style.
It's so close.
So crazy. Blue hat, black and white stockings,
gloves,
it's
pins on the
crazy.
hat. She's Pooch. She's pure Poochie. It's wild.
Poochie time. But you know what she actually is?
Awful and annoying and the worst.
Yuffie doesn't fit in this part of the game.
Why would Yuffie be here? You think Yuffie's not going to be that annoying?
Dude.
Is she?
Yuffie was the dumb kid who just stole from you all the time.
Okay. The shitty thief part of it, right? Yes. But the part where she starts out being like, fuck Avalanche, they're full of shit.
It's literally just a hustle.
And then she's like, pay me my gil. And I'm like, oh, this girl is the worst.
It's literally just a hustle, bro.
Of course it is.
Yuffie is totally going to be just like that.
She's Kyrie, I almost said Marie. Kyrie is extraordinarily hateable.
Oh, yeah.
I despise her.
But she's got a cute hat.
And she's standing near the flowers, and I bet you anyone that's an Aerith mark is like, how dare you stand near those flowers?
Yeah, that was a weird decision to put her in there.
How dare you?
Man, Andrea, dude, Andrea's the shit.
He's the best. Yeah, he's great.
He's the best.
Did you get those pull-ups?
It's I got them, and apparently that is the hardest thing to do in the game.
Yes. Yes.
Because
took me a couple tries.
It took me a while.
Took me a couple tries.
That dude's a pull-up monster.
Yeah. I read a single piece of advice that helped a lot, which was every time your muscles get stuck, press the button exactly 5 times. And that changed it for me.
Okay.
But yeah, fucking wild. So of the new characters, right? So here's the thing. Now I talked about fucking Poochie's awful. I hate her. Rosh is a dweeb. Fuck him.
Dude, he's never coming back. I can feel it. He was added to
He's
fill
gone
out
forever?
that sequence. Yeah, I'm so sure.
Oh my god, he might never come back. It's true. They're gonna no. He's gonna show up in some form. He's gonna rear his dumb head in one way or another and get something anticlimactic.
Like the right place to put him would be in the bike chase out.
I was good. Yes, exactly. That's where you actually bring it to a close, right? I was going to say, yo, so this Johnny character, and then
oh, you're dumb, man.
Fuck me.
He was super there.
I know, and I saw it, and I went, oh shit, this fucking red-haired guy that's like, I'm gonna go stake it out on my own. Yeah, they just fleshed him out.
A lot. Well,
because he
got tons.
But I was gonna say he wasn't a character before. He was a named NPC, right? With like, does he have anything besides that?
No, he shows up in Wall Market,
and that's about it. Yeah. So like,
gotta stretch it, bro.
Dude, going off the memory. I definitely am like, who the fuck is this? And it's like, oh my god, there he is. He totally wasn't the original. That's crazy. His dad is a fucking sleaze. He's going after him. Here's what's fucked, right? You run into him and he's all like, oh yeah, my Tifa, whatever. And he's like, okay, I got my wallet stolen. Thanks for getting my wallet back. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go do stuff. And I'm like, didn't your mom just die?
Nah, she's fine.
And then because there was a weird moment where I didn't realize how many people survived, and they didn't say that line yet. So the plate drops.
Tons.
The plate drops. People get out, and I assume that like 10% of the people made it out, right?
No, it's clearly
humongous,
way more.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Like most of the sector.
But that line that says that, there's a point in time where you don't know that, and I'm like,
yeah,
these people standing at the park are it, and the people in the fucking tunnel are it, and outside of the survivors in the rubble, everyone's fucking flattened, and then it's like, nah,
so
it's not enough for it to be a tragedy.
So when now that it's a full game, you actually see the entirety of the Sector 7 slums. There's maybe 200 people that live there, right?
Game scale. Game scale.
Sure, but in the cutscenes that you see a ton of people running out.
Yes.
Like
droves.
Hundreds.
And you're walking by some people that are like, huh? What's going on? Where's everybody going?
And even people that you would have assumed to have been pancaked, you run into.
Yes. You run into Betty.
It's very clear that like the vast majority of people got out.
So that feels almost like you're robbing an emotional spike from the original game in the form of like, this is supposed to make you want to burn Shinra to the ground harder than ever before.
Well, here's the thing, though. They still attempted it.
Yes, they still did. I know.
Whether or not they succeeded.
I know, totally. In the same way that Avalanche still had thought they did it, even though they didn't, right?
Okay. So we need to... Well, okay. If we're going to talk about the plate falling, nothing else matters other than what I'm going to bring up. So Nomura said that new players, it would be very good to start on the remake as your first experience with FF7. Okay, we now know that to be a total lie.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that. Absolutely.
But never before was it more obvious about how much of a lie that was. In the most tragic, like city destructive loss of life thing that could ever happen in this game is happening. And the city and all the 9/11s are falling on each other and they're burning. And we cut to Shinra HQ.
Oh, God.
And Shinra Man is like getting a boner. And he's like, oh, those people are dead.
Yes.
And then we pan down to a
fucking
1.5 foot tall robotic stuffed cat with a crown run out and go, no! Ah! And then it cuts back to Tifa, Barrett, and Cloud swinging on the wire. People who don't know are going to be so fucking confused.
Who's the sad cat? Why is sad cat sad?
It's so fucking weird. It makes no sense.
Okay, now...
And I was talking to Paige about it, and she put together something that I didn't realize. And her assumption is that that is like 10 minutes after Kate Sith or whatever, has been completed, and he was on his way to stop the plate, but was like a half hour too late.
Now,
which is why he's like running out and he sees it burning and it's like, oh fuck, it's terrible.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, is he not controlling it to make it look sad and fall over and do that?
Yes, that is like a VR robot machine.
A robot is falling over and going, no.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I mean, you want to talk about characters showing up early. Dude, Kate Sith shows up at the very first time after you, like, fall into the desert underneath the gold saucer.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's
he
crazy
was
late.
way out there.
Yeah. So that's a wild cut. That's like, that is not for any. And it's not a big one, but it's not for anybody.
It's so weird. It's so baffling.
That being said, though, there is absolutely going to be a ton of people playing this as their first time touching FF7. So there's just no way to avoid that.
And I'm going to assume hitting the ending and going, what?
So whatever, we'll see. Okay. What I wanted to talk about, though, well, not but like as we're going through them, I'm like, so Oates is great, Miss Folia is great.
She's all right.
Caught her in the Wall Market.
What? What did you say?
Did you catch her in Wall Market?
I did.
Okay.
She's got a dance for the orphans.
Becky, a little bit of Becky going on there.
A little bit, yeah.
Mireille, cool.
Which one's Mireille?
Kyrie's grandma, the angel of the slums.
The angel of the slums.
Rad old lady.
Worst kept secret in the universe.
Yeah, duh. From the jump. The moment the quest started and a random lady with a character design was like, they say the angel of the slums. All right.
It's
all right.
That's the lady.
How long is it? How many hours is this going to take? 35?
A long time.
35,
a long time, actually. Wow.
Yeah, it's like that. So I heard about how FF7, wow, FF13 takes 20 hours to open up.
That's right.
Technically, this game takes 35 hours to open up. Technically,
that's funny,
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Madam M, Andreas, Chocobo Sam, all cool. You know what? Marl, awesome landlady.
Nice little reference.
I like these new characters. I think they're all they're solid.
I think there's an incredibly obvious distinction between what I'm going to call real content, which is remade shit, expanded content, which I'm going to say Johnny, Marl, Chocobo Sam, etc., and filler, which is most of the side content, which is like almost laughable.
Rosh and Kyrie go into the fuck these kids pile.
Yeah.
And then there's just question mark, Chadley.
Yet again. Chadley is like a weird mutant from another game, just transplanted in.
Please tell me you talked to him while the plates were falling.
I don't remember.
If you find Chadley while the plates are falling, right when you get back to Sector 5, and you're like, hey, bro, what do you have to say? And Chadley's just standing there, as usual, on the street corner like some kind of hussy. And Chadley's just like, in these trying times, I sure do hope that our materia quest can come to fruition so I can aid you to take down Shinra. I look forward to your battle research investigations. I'm like, you fucking weirdo. Why are you so weird?
There's so much about him that's baffling. Like, even with the way he says that, like, I've discovered a new materia, it's like you're channeling like a
recipe
shit. Like, but it's not quite as boisterous.
No, because it's not quite the same. It's because it's like there's love coming into that recipe. Whereas I discovered a new materia is robotic. Did you talk to him in the dress?
Yes.
What are these emotions I am feeling?
I think I did. Anyway.
I am processing a strange emotion.
Yeah, he's a weirdo, dude. What can I say? Hey, let me ask you, who did you get for your affinity scene? Woolie?
Yeah?
Who did you get for your affinity scene?
Affinity scene.
So in the original FF7, there's a secret like tally between Aerith, Tifa, and Barrett and Cloud.
Isn't that's for the date, right?
That determines the date.
Yeah.
Here, that determines who you sneak out of the house in the middle of the night to talk to in the flower field.
Oh, that's variable.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So there was they did that early in this game.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. Well, you bet your ass it was Tifa because.
Yes.
Okay, but guess what though? You want to know what the most obvious point tally system there was? Everybody falls.
Which of them do you pick up first?
Who do you
before?
2 bodies on the ground, unconscious. Who you gonna check on first?
No hesitation. Absolutely none.
And now we're gonna talk mad shit about the one that's unconscious together.
Oh man, she's such a dumb broad. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's fucking
Yeah, instantly. You instantly go pick up Tifa on that. No question. You know. So yeah, I thought that was dedicated. So wait, that scene plays out how?
I don't know.
What are I mean, your alternative is Barrett.
Or Aerith, apparently.
Isn't she gone at the time?
Yes. So the answer of I don't know is pointed. I don't know.
Weird. Okay. I mean, there's also the small questioning moments of like, you know, do you answer these questions with answer A or B?
Yeah. When you went to Walmart,
yeah,
what quests did you do to get the dress?
I mean, all of the green.
No. What were they? Was the clothes maker getting the magazine back and healing people from the pharmacy?
Oh my god!
So the reason I asked because you know how Choco Sam asks you to flip a coin?
Yes, I did that.
If you choose heads or tails, you lose, and you get a certain set of quests. And if you choose no deal, you get a different set of quests.
I chose no deal.
Okay, so did your dress have a tiara?
I don't remember.
Because there's a bunch of different dresses that you can get for all the different characters.
Okay, I didn't know that. No, I chose no deal. And then when it was to go talk to the big 3, I was about to go into one and I realized that one of them had Johnny outside. And I was like, oh wait, let me go find Johnny and do the one where he's outside.
Yeah.
Because like he stands near a certain one of them. And then
because they can all wear different dresses.
Oh. Interesting, based on how you do the quests.
And the Aerith's dress is based on how many of the Sector 5 quests you complete, I think.
What about the pigtails? Can you get the pigtails?
I feel like I had them.
I didn't have pigtails. I just had the...
Let me go back and check.
I had like the... looked like a cloud mullet.
Cloud mullet?
It was long hair going in the back, but cloud hair up front. And I was
tough for me to find
because I was expecting the spiky hair up front and then pigtails kind of look from the original, but it just ended up being long. I don't know if there's multiple styles.
I'm trying to find it in my footage. This is gonna take too long.
Okay, well anyway, wow, I'm surprised to hear there's that level of variability. Anyways,
yeah. So when you play it on hard mode, you can fucking go and do different shit.
What kind of hand massage did you get?
I totally got little pigtails on either side of Cloud.
Really?
Yeah. I can fuck it. I'll send you the fucking.
I did not get pigtails at all. That's interesting.
Yeah, hold on. I got a timestamp I can send to you. You can just I'll take a fucking screenshot.
Sure.
Take a fucking
screenshot. What kind of massage did you get?
I got a cheap one and an expensive one.
Oh, you reloaded?
I reloaded, yeah.
What's the difference?
Here's your screen. Here's the screenshot of the Cloud that I got.
Okay. Oh, that's completely different.
Yeah.
This is a completely different Cloud from the one I got.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy. My Cloud is wearing a completely different dress and a completely different hairstyle, and I don't have a thing on my hair. Yeah. Mine was top to bottom, not the same at all.
Cool.
How'd you do on the rhythm game?
I took the practice 3-4 times till I got a perfect because you get a music track out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did I think I got like mostly perfects with like 2 bads in the final.
I got all perfects except for 1 great in the final, and I got the music track. Yeah, that was good. I was gonna ask about the shit. It was right before that.
The boss.
No.
All right, fuck it. You can't remember. Hey, how about turning the weirdest enemies that FF7 ever had into giant set piece boss fights?
Fuck that. How? So that's rad, and I love when you're down.
Hell House, man.
So So like you were talking about. Oh my god, Hell House better show up. Hell House better show up. And like
it's a boss fight.
Not only does Hell House show up, they give it the most fucking fanfare you've ever imagined.
You get a bunch of people going, "What? It's a house."
They build up Hell House so crazy. It's so fucking sick. Yeah. Like it gets this and like it has modes that you have to work. Like there's a whole thing to it.
It's one of the most complex bosses I fought in the whole game
for sure. And then you fucking take it out with this big fancy kill, and then the whole crowd goes ba da 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 da.
It's like, okay, yeah. I'm excited to fight the ghost ship and like the Triceratops with the wheels. If they're gonna treat Hell House this way.
Battle Coliseum music, banger track.
Oh, dude, the music's all incredible.
Right, there's the like when you're just hanging out in the fucking back room.
There's so many remixes of the battle theme in this game.
Yes, that was so satisfying. You're gonna hear this for hours. You might as well go through a couple versions of it. You go into that basement, and then like you hear loud yelling from far away, and it's like, "Hey, what's up, Behemoth? How you doing?"
What's up? You can't. You're a proto weirdo Behemoth, so you can't do Ecliptic Meteor like you're supposed to.
But it can totally do a counter spell.
But you can do a counter spell, and you can also shake the rocks from the ceiling and try and crush us with a kind of baby's proto meteor.
Those fights feel great. Those are the fights that feel like, oh, we're doing it. This is like those fights where you're fighting like Behemoth or where you're fighting Abzu. It's almost like this is how it looked, you know? And there's a couple of moments where like you pull up the ATB meter and like Tifa is mid fucking roundhouse kick in mid-air, and I'm just like, oh,
it's good stuff.
Yes.
So let me ask you, and I kind of want to finish on this because I gotta get it. I'm starving, dude.
Yeah.
But how much of a feeling do you get that the next one's going to be a lot sooner than this one took out? Because there is so much like prep work being made for features that are barely used. Here's a fast travel system that can only bring you to like 6 locations. Here's enemy skill in which there are only 4 enemy skills in the game.
And I picked up one by mistake, and I missed the other one because I didn't realize you have to actively be controlling the character that's using enemy skill. There are more materia than you can actually fucking use to kit yourself out with going through this game. Like, when are you going to use fucking bio? Like, who's doing that, you know?
Bio actually works on pretty much everybody, so it's fine.
I've been just doing elemental resistances, you know?
Well, that works too. But like and you only get 12 magic materia total in the whole game. And it's just like the level cap is 50. It's just like this, a lot of this feels like setup. Like there are these
the groundwork has been laid,
mechanics that are used like once.
How about this?
Ever.
How about this? How many limit breaks do the characters get?
2.
So far, Cloud has 2. You know?
2. They get 2. And guess what? Some of them are their old final limits. Barrett gets Catastrophe as his level 2.
Okay, so have you grabbed those already?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't grab them yet.
You go to the fucking battle arena and win the solo fights.
Okay.
And also, Aerith's is only available in the when you leave the arena for the first time. You have to immediately turn back around and go back in with her. And if you don't, you have to do it in post game.
You don't get to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's never in your party in that area again.
Right. So all that to say that you basically like you're seeing you get these two and you're just like, yeah, so all the rest are the rest of the journey, you know? The groundwork has been laid here. Why would you be walking out of Midgar with 7 limit breaks?
So you know what I really, really, really like about the level cap being 50? 50 is the exact level of power that Flashback Sephiroth had.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Sephiroth is level 50 with maxed out fire, lightning, and ice.
Okay.
Which is what my Cloud pretty much looks like right now. And it's also way stronger than how you left Midgar in the first game.
Well, yeah.
I sure as fuck wasn't in my level 30s when I left Midgar back in the day. Or maybe I was. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, that game's good. I'm very excited to talk to you about it next week. Which I would feel is an understatement.
Last thing I'm gonna say is you cannot say that they do not know exactly what they're doing. The deliberateness of the subtitle that appears the first time what's his name, a little green fucker comes out with the knife. Tonberry comes out. Is this the face of mercy? Like, I think the subtitle is like, oh, you're really in for it now, or something, where it's just like, oh, this is made for memes. You frame the shot of him walking with the knife forward and them saying something like that for the internet. This is made for Twitter.
Tonberry is an incredible enemy. I love Tonberries. And this game totally did it justice because it could barely move. And then it just taps you, and your character just dies. Fight with caution. I think it hits you for more health than you can even reach.
Yeah. You know, if not for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you.
Yeah.
It's the starter pack with Kirby with the knife. All right.
Yeah, Tonberry's is shit. All right, FF7 good.
FF7 great. And more final thoughts later. And yeah, definitely there's a couple of other things that you know I touched on or that I wanted to touch on. But yeah, we'll talk about all that later.
Yeah, we'll have a bigger part of next week be FF7. I assume
it feels weird seeing the energy of tragedy be deflected. You know, be deflected and
But to be fair, you've got a lot of that early. You got that tragedy earlier in the game because the Mako reactor explosion is way more damaging.
This is true. But you're supposed to feel that robbed from you when you see a sword in that fucker's back.
Yeah, well, luckily enough, I don't. Since I had to re-record that part, that is the most depressing part of like most games that I played in a long time, because you get Jesse and Biggs dead. You assume that Wedge is dead. Then you go get you get Aerith captured. Then Sephiroth taunts you. Then you go get to talk to Elmira, and she recounts to you about Aerith's mom and her husband dead. And it's within like 45 minutes. It's so depressing.
People hate Wu-Tai.
Oh, I'm damn Wu-Tais. All right. I got to get out of here.
Okay. See you guys.